What's up, YouTube? Welcome to another episode of the Upland Show. I'm here with McSqueeb. We always love having McSqueeb on the show. It's an honor to have him. He's the man. Okay, so if you didn't know, McSqueeb is a crypto genius. McSqueeb
enthusiast
is a crypto enthusiast. He's a crypto connoisseur. He invests in the coins. He knows what's going on. Whereas I am more heavily invested in the Metaverse. And today we're talking about the differences between crypto generally speaking, like crypto coins, cryptocurrencies, crypto projects that aren't necessarily blockchain games such as Metaverse projects, and the differences between what you can expect when you invest in crypto projects, and that varies a lot, right? And we'll hear more about that, and investing in the Metaverse such as Upland. So McSqueeb, tell us why you have personally decided to invest more of your overall crypto investment, and I include Upland in that, why you've decided to put more of that pie into crypto projects more so than Upland.
Sure.
Historically.
Yeah, so we did a video here on the Upland Show, probably one of our first videos in the first 10 of our videos I think we made.
I'm actually going to put a card right here.
All right.
That side of the screen above you, I'm going to put a card that will link to that video right there.
Very cool. Yeah, so this video, wherever it's at.
Above you.
Yes, that video, we talked about how this generation of investors today, the greatest opportunity or the greatest investment industry that you will yield the greatest return is the cryptocurrency industry, which is different than previous generations. I mean, not just because crypto didn't exist back in those days, but for example, we talked about how real estate, while that's still a very sound way to invest, it's not going to make you explosive money, overnight. Whereas our parents' generation, at least my parents' generation, your grandparents' generation, could have poured money into real estate back in the 60s and early 70s and had 100x results, right? Well, you don't get 100x results, not typically across the board within the industry of real estate any longer. Even the stock market, we talked about how the stock market had its trajectory, which was mooning and was almost vertical, back starting from the 50s all the way to the 80s. Whereas now the return in that industry, that investment industry, that investment option is not as dramatic as it once was. It's still a great option. I'm not saying it's not, but it's not as dramatic as it once was. Even
bonds were more lucrative than they are now, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So, but today the point is that the industry in which you're going to make life-changing money in, if you do it right, is in cryptocurrencies. So that's why I have entered into crypto, is because of that, kind of that trend. Now, back to your question about, okay, so within that trend of crypto first of all, the first question is Upland considered crypto? And I think it is, because it is a Metaverse project. It's on the blockchain. It has NFTs. It has all those concepts. So while it doesn't have a token necessarily that you can trade on a decentralized exchange for other tokens, and it's kind of locked within this centralized experience, it's still, it's still considered part of the crypto industry, I would say.
Absolutely.
Now, yeah. So that's the first question. Is the Metaverse and investing in the Metaverse, is that part of the crypto craze, crypto industry, crypto trending and projects and investment opportunities? Absolutely. I think it is. Now, there's multiple different types and categories within crypto. There's crypto you could kind of go high level and say, Metaverse versus crypto projects, where they have a project launches with just a few people, and they're creating a token for that project. That project, by the way, lives on some blockchain, and certainly there's money to be made there. And then there's the metaverse. We all know that there's multiple metaverse projects, and they're popping up every day. But that's another opportunity to invest. So so like you said, I have historically probably spent more of my time in investing in the latest most promising crypto project.
Yeah, and which from my experience is a lot like McSqueeb is he's humble about it, but he really knows a lot about up and coming cutting edge crypto projects before the vast majority of people hear about those projects. He's in with some groups. He kind of knows what's going on. It's not there's also differences with just like investing in Coinbase and investing in the typical, Bitcoin and Ethereum and Chainlink and kind of the top 10 projects versus investing in the up and coming, like you got to buy in the seed sale or the pre-sale or,
right.
And those are the ones that probably you feel is where more money can be made, even than investing in Bitcoin, right?
Yeah. So, if you just look at the list of crypto projects, you go to something like coinmarketcap.com or CoinGecko, whatever. Personally, I don't find I'm not super interested in any project that has a super high market cap. So to me, it's all about market cap, and it's about balancing market cap with risk.
Okay.
And because I like the small market cap projects, meaning that there's still huge trajectory
and
possible.
Those ones with small market cap that have a lot of potential, right?
They have a lot of potential, but they also come with more risk. So that's the balance, because someone could go into, Ethereum, and generally, if you buy Ethereum today, it's like 4,300, whatever it is. You can go to bed after buying an Ethereum coin, and you can go to bed and then wake up the next day without much worry that it's going to be $1,800 versus your $4,300 you put in. You're not going to lose 60% of your investment because it's more stable, because it has less risk, because it has had the majority of its growth already, and so it has a high market cap. Now, so you could go down to
you could have invested in Bitcoin in the past a month ago where it was at 67,000, and then today it's lost $20,000, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I'm not saying that it's a stable coin where it's flat by any means. You could still definitely lose a lot of money. And in fact, the same principles apply. Never buy at the all-time high because it's just going to crash and you're just going to lose money. Always buy in the dips. And so even with these top 10 coins, you're going to want to watch for these dips. Occasionally you'll have an exception like Solana, where a month ago it went on this rampage, going from like $60 all of a sudden to $100, and people are like, well, that's all-time high, don't buy in now. And then before you know it, it's at $230, and you're like, why didn't I buy in at $100? But by and large, you don't want to buy on the peaks, you want to buy in the dips, right? And that's true of these big caps as well as small caps. That's a general principle. For me, I like to look for small cap projects that have yet to have their super potential growth, kind of explosions. And now there's thousands of those, right? So you look at those and you go, well, which one of those is good? Well, you have to look at the team, you have to look at the technology, you have to look at the problem they're trying to solve. That's why I don't really traditionally get into a lot of the meme coins, although there is money to be made in those if you pick the right project. But at any rate, my philosophy is I like to look for small market cap projects that have potential, and potential is subjective, but I have some personal things that I like to look for, such as, again, the team. Is it fully doxed? Does that team have actual experience successfully creating some other type of cryptocurrency project in the past? Do they have advisors who are well connected into the industry? What are their tokenomics? What does the technology look like? Do they actually have code? Is that code audited? So these are some things I look for, and then I drop some money in it. And I'm kind of a risk taker, so I don't mind going big on something that I think is going to have some potential. And I've done well. I've lost money for sure, and I've also done really well in a few instances. And so that's been helpful to me. Now, back to your question about compare that to Upland. Upland, to me, is a completely different investment strategy. It doesn't mean it's either or. In fact, I invest in both. For me, the Metaverse is an opportunity to enjoy gains, significant gains in many instances, but those significant gains in the Metaverse come typically more over time.
Yeah. It's almost like investing in real world real estate versus, let's say, 20 years ago investing in real estate versus investing in the stock market.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, especially like the NASDAQ, or like .com. Like, if you're in the mid to late 90s and everything's going .com, you could have made truckloads of money dropping on, investing on the right .com. You could have also lost a lot of money. That's, to me, that the late 90s is comparative to or comparable to the cryptocurrency market today.
Yep.
But you're right. Traditional real estate does kind of tend to be a little bit less dramatic, but steady over time.
Slow and steady, man.
That's right.
It's the tortoise and the hare.
That's right. That's exactly right. And so I love Upland for that reason alone, because if I let's say I got crazy and I put $10,000 into Upland. Well, first of all, if I put that and I convert that into UPIX, I've now got 10 million UPIX, I can go to bed and I can wake up the next morning knowing that I still have 10 million UPIX, right? Some crazy crash hasn't happened. Elon Musk didn't tweet something stupid overnight that just crashed everything, and now I'm down to like 10 million UPIX is down to 4 million UPIX, whatever, just like that. So I don't have that heartburn. I don't have that stress, right? And the other thing I really like about Upland is that it gives me the opportunity, it almost invites me to be thoughtful and strategic. And it's not that crypto doesn't, it's just that crypto, I'm also kind of putting my faith into other people and other market factors that I have zero control over. Certainly, and I mentioned my principles that I like, and they've kind of worked for me. But even the most promising project that aligned with those principles that I mentioned earlier, I'm still putting faith into these individuals who are running that project that I don't even know.
Yeah.
And I'm still putting faith into a crypto industry that could, the SEC or the United States Senate or China or Elon Musk or whatever could do some little thing that absolutely disrupts my investment and blows all my principles out the water. So with Upland, that's not the case. What I like about Upland is that those who run Upland are economists, and we've talked a lot about decentralization versus decentralization and the values of both. And I think they have a healthy understanding of the crossover and where that crossover should be between centralization and decentralization for Upland, so that it is a healthy and stable economy over time. So I have faith that my money in Upland is not going to crash.
Yeah, which is why I think it's really valuable that they haven't made it at this point. It's not a cryptocurrency. It's not. UPIX is a stable coin. It's an in-game currency to be used in Upland.
Tethered to the US dollar, right?
Tethered to the Dirk has said that if there's ever major economic crashes, so to speak, in with the US dollar, that they would have to reassess that. So, but the whole point is to keep it stable growth.
Right.
That no outside source could come in and manipulate it or do anything to really drastically change it in a big way.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Yeah, so, again, getting back to your original question, I have historically probably done more activity in crypto, and part of that is because my professional interests also align with the activities required to make a crypto project successful. I'm not a programmer, I'm not a blockchain developer, but I have sales and marketing experience and communications and all that. And so I've been included in several crypto teams, as either a content developer or the head of marketing or the chief marketing officer for certain coin. Nothing huge, but it's been fun for me, and that's what I enjoy doing because it's active, it's constant. There's always something to be thinking about, and it's challenging.
And there's potential to 10x your money in a month if you hit the right thing.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah, overnight. With Upland, it's a little more low key. It's a little bit more thoughtful. Certainly, there's dramatics that can happen.
Yeah, there's rare cases where you get a terminal. You luckily win a terminal.
Yeah,
you luckily get really good properties and can flip it overnight, but those are more rare in Upland. I would say the average player in Upland can expect, to double their money in a year on the average property purchased in the game of Upland.
Absolutely.
Double to triple.
Yeah.
But not 10x in a month on average.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, you and I were talking earlier before we started recording about, if you just look at Bitcoin being the most talked about, most popular cryptocurrency in the world, and to some degree the most hyped, there's plenty of, economists out there who are making predictions about the price of Bitcoin by the end of 2021 or the end of 2022, and some of those predictions are extreme. $300,000 by the end of this year, or $100,000 by the end of this year, or $500,000 by the end of 2022.
We pulled that up, actually. So they're saying 100,000 by the end of 2022, 318,000 by the end of 318,000
by 2022.
In 2022.
Sometime in 2022,
and then 500,000 by 2030, which actually isn't that drastic growth.
I think that could happen for sure. And I don't dispute any of these predictions, but again, when you hear, if you're new to crypto and you read this, you're like, oh my gosh, 100,000 by 2022, that's just a few weeks away, And so you go to Bitcoin, let's say you're new to crypto, you read this, you get hyped, you go straight to Bitcoin or, maybe Coinbase, and you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a splash and try to buy some Bitcoin. You buy it at $63,000 like it was, a couple weeks ago, and then you lose 30% of your money.
Yeah.
Because now it's down to $46,000. Now, of course, the concept is hodl, right? Hold. But how many of us have that discipline when we see our investment that we've worked hard for keep going down? Every day you wake up and it's now lower and lower. You're like, oh my gosh, I should have got out yesterday. Is today the day that I should get out, or is it going to go down lower tomorrow? From a human standpoint, humans are not equipped to be, excellent investors. Yeah. We're more driven by emotion. Yeah. But not by logic. And so I think most people bail out, right? Again, with Upland, it's either going to be flat or it's going to keep going up slowly and slowly. right?
And the only real risk with Upland is if something completely way better comes along that completely makes Upland irrelevant, right?
Yeah, overnight. Yeah.
Overnight.
Yeah.
But I think we're good. I think we're good for at least 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So
even Meta, the Facebook that Mark Zuckerberg's working on and all that.
Right.
They've pretty much said it's like 3 to 5 years before it's even really a thing.
Yeah, and so that video that we talked about at the beginning of this video that we referenced that we filmed months ago, one of the points made in that video was that when there is a bull market in the crypto industry, meaning that you're not, everyone's losing money, the whole market's red.
A bear market.
Yeah, bear market. My bad. Bear market. Yeah, sorry. Bear market. When there's a bear market in crypto and everything's going down or flat, the best thing to do at that point is to go into the metaverse.
Yeah, because there's proof out there that gaming goes up when the economy is down.
Yeah.
The overall economy
is
down.
Yeah, that's right.
And we feel strongly that the metaverse is going to continue to have stable growth during a bear market in Bitcoin, in all the cryptocurrency industry. That is the difference. We think it will still have slow and steady growth as it has always had. And I personally feel that 2022 is going to be the most significant growth that Upland may ever experience.
Yeah, and many people are predicting that 2022 is going to be the bear market or the introduction of the bear market for the next couple of years for crypto. Those 1000x gains are going to be very, very rare during a bear market in crypto. Whereas if you just play it casually but intelligently in a game like Upland or other metaverses, you're still going to have positive gains over the next couple of years.
Yeah, but that's the problem with other metaverses is they're tied to other crypto coins. And if Bitcoin goes down, historically speaking, almost every other project dips unless it's a brand new project, right?
Yeah.
So Sandbox and Decentraland may see major dips in their coins, whereas Upland has this stable coin that won't probably be as affected by that. Yeah,
I don't know much about those other metaverses as far as can you use USDT or USDC or something like that. And if that's the case, that's probably what I would do. But if the currency you're using inside those metaverses are cryptocurrencies that are vulnerable to the bear market, then you're defeating the purpose.
Just go with they are. I personally think they are.
Go with a stable coin if you're going to be doing that. If you can, if that's the option.
So we hope that's helpful to you. We hope this video kind of gives you some context and kind of helps you in your decision making for what to invest in. Where should you put your money? What do you think, McSqueeb? How do you want to sum it up?
Yeah, I would just say that I think having a diversified portfolio is always wise. That is kind of, again, one of those age-old principles with investing. Having a diversified portfolio is smart. And within crypto investing, diversification should include something like Upland that is going to have some stability and some positive growth even during a bull market. So it's not necessarily either or, but it's really boils down to what is your personality? What kind of stress level do you want to subscribe to? What do you want? How are you reading the market right now? And then act accordingly.
Absolutely. We hope this is helpful. Please leave us a like. Please leave us a comment and let us know your thoughts on the future of cryptocurrency in general versus Upland and other metaverses. We love reading the comments. We love responding to all your awesome responses. I'll be honest, man. We're starting to get a lot. We're starting to get a lot of comments. It's hard to keep up with all of them. But thank you so much for all the support. We love our fans. We love all of you. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, you're a super fan. We really appreciate the support. And as always, We hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.